Exit interview preparation. What to say and how to not burn your bridges. Find out how to prepare an exit interview properly so you can preserve lifelong connections at your soon-to-be former employer, no matter the reason for your departure, whether you are evading a toxic culture or executive, shifting careers, leaving to pursue a fresh opportunity, seeking better work-life balance, or all of the above. Here is constructive feedback you can give in your last exchange with your boss. Welcome back, folks, to the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We really appreciate your presence with us today. I'm doing fantastic. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today I want to talk to you about exit interview preparation, what to say and how not to burn your bridges. Number one, if your boss asks you directly, why are you leaving? You can say things like you want to relocate to be closer to family, you want to support your spouse's new job, or perhaps you are burnt out and need a break to reflect on what you really want in your career and life. Of course, you want to phrase and frame the response in a way that paints a good picture of the boss and the company, right? Even if you were approached by a recruiter and they have an exciting new role, there was also a step up in title and pay, you still want to give to your former boss, to your soon-to-be former boss, a politically correct answer, right? You want to be as direct and honest as possible, but also be humble and polite. This is helpful for the organization to know and can allow the exit interviewer to probe further in the appropriate areas. Number two, was your job description clear and well structured? Now, the elements of a good job description I'm going to talk about them below, but you have to understand that there are 6 parts of a good job description. When the interviewer is asking you, was your job description clear and well structured, they're trying to make sure that if the mistake came from them, if the mistake came from the manager, they avoid it in the future. What are the top elements of a good job description? Task functions and responsibility, performance standards, job-related skills, scope and limits of authority, management expectations, and relationships, right? So let's just quickly go through them. So task functions and responsibilities, this is pretty self-explanatory. Performance standards, this include productivity and quality standards that are required for the individual to be successful in his or her new role. Job related skills, of course, those depend upon the job, so it hovers around and revolves around the level of skills, knowledge, experience, and capability demanded by the job. And I'm here talking about physical requirements, technical skills. You also have scope and limits of authority. So this is where you are outlining the areas of responsibility assigned to each person, including where duties may overlap and who is ultimately responsible for the finished product or service. Management expectations, this is pretty clear also, and relationships. Now, in a job description, you want to clarify the reporting structure for each department or division, stating to whom the employee reports or who reports to the employee if applicable, right? Another thing you want to do is if the team or group projects are required, you want to give an example. What I'm trying to say here is that we're talking about exit interview preparation, and when you ask about whether or not your job description was clear and well structured, you want to go through the 6 elements to see if they really were in there. This will be helpful in answering the question. Number 3, did you have opportunities to learn and grow? In other words, did your manager create opportunities for you to use your strengths, right? Now, there was a Gallup study several years ago that said that 1/3 of people leave their jobs due to lack of career advancement or promotion opportunities, right? So at this stage, if you ever ask the question, you will want to share the extent to which you felt that you had a visible career path within the organization, and you also want to say maybe why things didn't go through. If you are given opportunities to get new skills and experiences during your tenure, such as high stakes projects, if you weren't given those opportunities, you can also mention that as well. If you were, you want to mention them as well. All right. You should also share, and this is critical, if your manager regularly provide actionable feedback, both positive and negative feedback. I mean, people don't like the word negative feedback, so let's just say improvement feedback that allowed you to learn continuously and get better at your job. You also want to mention whether you were able to learn. So if you had learning opportunities in-house or externally, and also if you are able to grow as a professional. In other words, were the tasks given to you diverse? Were they challenging? Were they part of a special project? As I said earlier, you want to engage in high stakes projects, right? So all of these things, you want to mention them during the exit interview so that you are being polite, you're being professional, and you're not burning your bridges. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation here around exit interview preparation, what to say and how to not burn your bridges. If you just love the clarity and quality of this content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Also, please tickle the like button and the share button and the comment button, and share your experience with the rest of the community. We really appreciate that. We release new shows every single day, rain or shine, and I really appreciate if you can follow us on a daily basis. That'll be great. The topics covered are varied, they're diverse. We cover everything from career planning all the way to financial planning and history in between. Why not, right? We cover everything. We are the largest infotainment show, and we love to cover anything we deem interesting, right? Number 4, were you given the proper tools to succeed? In other words, when the exit interviewer asks you this question, they're trying to figure out to what extent your job was meaningful and motivating, allowing you to do the work you most enjoy, right? Now, companies ask that question because they know that retaining people is more challenging now, because people have opportunities, especially if you have the right skill set and the right degrees. You have a lot of opportunities. So what you want to do is you want to answer that question in a very clear, again, polite and humble way. You want to mention the company rules, policies, and procedures. You want to mention if they give you an extra step by providing you with tools to help you navigate your work environment. You want to mention that. You will also want to share the extent to which you felt your manager supported you and helped clear obstacles, and whether you felt like you had the opportunity to engage and do your job very well. Okay. Now, when it comes to resources to do your job very well, I'm talking having the budget for it, the people, and the other tools such as the appropriate software to make your job easier, right? So you really want to mention that. Number 5, how do you feel about your boss and other executives? This is a big one, folks. How do you feel about your boss and other executives? Please, and this is a big please, never badmouth your soon-to-be former boss or soon-to-be former company, organization, or charity executives. Never badmouth people. You never know. This is a small world, and you don't want to burn your bridges. So if they ask you, how do you feel about your boss and other executives? This is an opportunity and a moment to recognize good managers and leaders. You want to highlight what made them so good, as well as identify the toxic ones. Now, even the toxic ones, you want to be able to say this in a very polite way. If your manager empowered you to make decisions and has shown good emotional intelligence, that is wonderful information to the organization, right? Because what the organization is doing through an exit interview is to also evaluate the performance of your soon-to-be former boss, right? So if the organization knows about those who may be detracting from a positive working environment or are even a contributing factor to your decision to leave, they might fire them, ultimately too, right? So if, for instance, so I talked about the positive side. If you had a positive manager, now if you had a toxic manager, you can still give your feedback in a polite way. This could be, for instance, a boss who demonstrates bullying behavior or manages by instilling fear, right? So remember, when multiple exit interviews echo the same negative feedback, the organization has even more incentive to act on it. They might provide coaching to the leader in question to help increase his or her awareness and mitigate unproductive behaviors. Or in more extreme cases, and we've seen this in the news, they could launch an investigation that may lead to further action, right? So rather than thinking of this as telling on anyone, you want to consider the feedback as shining a light on a problem to be solved in order to make things better for your soon-to-be former colleagues and the organization's future employees. Number 6, which aspects of your job did you like? Another great one. Here, you want to include positive elements of your experience at the organization. What you liked and appreciated most about the job, your team, the culture, the organization as a whole. Just as individuals need to hear positive feedback to know what they should be doing over and over and over, so do organizations, right? And this could include specific benefits offered, investment made in your learning and development, or an aspect of the company culture that you most valued. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation here about exit interview preparation, what to say and how to not burn your bridges. And I want to quickly tell you in number 7, if they ask you which benefits did the company bring you personally and professionally, you can mention 4 things: skill development, professional benefits in terms of you growing as a human being, as a professional, through your interactions with people who were smarter than you, people who were better than you, people who were less better than you, right? All of those things brings professional benefit and makes you grow as a person. The benefits the company brought you personally and professionally also include money and connections in the industry. Question number 8. If they ask you, what are your recommendations for improvement? What you want to do here is identify 1 or 2 top areas for improvement within the organization. And this may be also factors that will have kept you from leaving, if there are any, right? So these recommendations may include things like more competitive compensation, right? Everybody wants to be paid more. Flexible work options, a better vision, a culture that is more welcoming of dissenting views, better upward feedback mechanism, and so on and so forth. Take the time to share the info above. If you do in the proper way, this can help the company focus their improvement efforts, right? Remember that good leaders generally make things better for others, and the exit interview is a small but critical way to contribute to this goal. Number 9. Question number 9. Which skills did you wish you could hone during your tenure? Now, remember, again, this is a broad question that invites a broad answer. But in the interest of time, we're just going to go straight to the point. When it comes to any job, there are 5 skills that our team has identified that makes success easy. Number 1, goal setting skills. 2, time management skills. 3, knowledge management skills. 4, team player skills. 5, professional image skills. Now, you can pick whatever applies to your personal situation and give the answer to the exit interviewer. if it's goal setting skills, time management skills, knowledge management skills, team player skills, or professional image skills. Right now, it also depends on your industry. You have to choose one that works for you. All right. So this is pretty much it, folks. I'm about to wrap up today's conversation, and just want to quickly give you the recap here. Now, today's conversation was about exit interview preparation, what to say, and how to not burn your bridges. And if you enjoyed the quality and clarity of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. We sure appreciate that. We release new shows every single day, rain or shine. Please like this content, share, and comment below. Here's a recap. The 9 questions that you'll be asked in the exit interview during an exit interview, and how you should answer them. I've already given those to you. Why are you leaving? Was your job description clear and well structured? Did you have opportunities to learn and grow? Were you given the proper tools to succeed? How do you feel about your boss and other executives? Which aspects of your job did you like? Which benefits did the company bring you personally and professionally? What are your recommendations for improvements? Which skills did you wish you could have honed during your tenure? I will see you next time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.